Welcome to episode 3 of Arcasaur Table Talk. I'm your host, Deanna, and I've got with me tonight.
Garnet Sky.
Scott, as usual. Hi.
Yeah. So, let's see. Tonight's latest in the ongoing saga of Hasbro's mess ups and other things. They're apparently releasing a 30th anniversary Magic the Gathering beanbag chair for $975. And pre-orders for their new book have gone live and are completely cutting out your local game stores, which is just awful. But we're also going to be talking about Call of Cthulhu and a recent article I read on it. And doing a few more creator shoutouts. Some that I pick, some that we've mentioned before, and a couple that Scott picked out. Alright,
So where do we start?
Let's see.
I'll start. $900 for a beanbag?
Exactly.
Yeah, 900.
I can almost guarantee you. I can almost guarantee you. If you just go to a little place that sounds like mall tart and go in there and buy a beanbag and then bring it home and set it down, then go over to another place that sounds like Hibby Libby and go and buy some iron-on transfer paper and then go over to, I don't know, like a place that sounds like Chinko's and ask them if they could print out a few things on those pieces of paper that are transferable, and then you take them home after it's being printed and you set them onto the beanbag and go with the iron. Then the next thing you know, you have a beanbag that has Magic the Gathering stuff on it, and oh my gosh, it only cost you like $30.
Yeah. Because I'm not paying $50 for a beanbag chair.
Heck, I'm not paying
There is
like
no way they're going to
$30
get
for a beanbag chair.
$900 for a beanbag chair. That is insane.
Yeah, they kind of messed over their product partner, whose name is Lovesack.
I'm sorry, I'm fighting the urge to go, love sack baby.
Yeah, it says the
Congratulations, you lost the urge.
very much so. Yeah,
Those kids never born in the 90s, you missed out.
No,
Yeah,
you
they
didn't.
weren't born yet.
Yeah,
But,
and everybody's complaining
I mean-
about Tears of the Kingdom being $70. Back in the 90s, most Nintendo games were $70 to $130.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see
remember that.
special edition, special
Oh, the special
print
edition.
on it or something, and it be $90.
Yeah.
That it's going to be this outrageous amount because it's a special specific limited edition. But 900?
I, along with the other two of you, have purchased a game that was released recently, which we're not going to get into the controversy of.
Okay,
But
there's a reason why it's $975, because it also comes with a booster set box of Phyrexia, all will be one.
Okay.
Okay,
So that's
Otherwise,
like coming with a
if you've
ton of
already
stuff.
got one of this company's bean sacks, or as they were calling them, movie sacks, sack chairs,
Okay.
you can buy the cover and the booster box for $400.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's still
Yeah,
insane.
this seems more like Hasbro is once again screwing over their merchandising partners.
Oh, so is this gonna be a once a week like episode thing?
Possibly.
Once a
Maybe.
week, Hasbro is going to do something horrendously stupid.
God, that would really upset their major shareholders like Vanguard.
We can make a chart of when we think they're going to go out of business.
Well, even better, instead of just making a chart of when they're going to go out of business, like, let's do like not necessarily a betting pool, but like a
Yeah,
what is
like
it called? A bingo
when
card.
Mary Sue's gonna have her baby.
There are a
You
lot
know,
of people
we can
who
do a bingo
are
card.
already done bingo cards and gotten a blackout.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say, let's do bingo cards and see what they'll do next. But nope, never mind.
I was thinking of like Sue Ann, lady in the office is, pregnant, and who thinks what the due date's gonna be. So like, I mean, we don't bet any money on it, but like
it needs to be more in depth, like, not just if they're gonna go under and when they're gonna go under, but how they're gonna go under, why they're gonna go under.
why? They're idiots.
Let's see.
They're already showing us that, so that hand has already been played. They're morons. Okay, but when are they gonna go under?
It's like they're playing poker, but all they have in their hands are jokers.
Bank of America has listed them as underperforming for the second quarter in a row for over monetization of their product lines. Like what they did.
And why do you think we, Arcasaur Tabletop, by the by, arcasaurt.com/AORPS, have released a basic setup for a role-playing system so that people can make their own RPGs for free? Again, that is arcasaurt.com/AORPS.
The link will be down in the description and is on the channel page.
I thought the D&D thing was bad enough.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
But
for the last couple of years, Altifox has tried to convince the other investors, such as the Vanguard Group, Capital Global, and BlackRock.
I think I know.
And present founding heir, Mr. Hassenfeld, that the board needed to be replaced with people who actually knew what a toy and game company are supposed to do.
I think I know what Hasbro stands for now. It's taking me this long to figure out. Okay, so Sega is shorthand for service games, and Capcom is shorthand for capsule computers, right?
Yes, this would be Hassenfeld Brothers.
Oh, okay. I thought it was shorthand for has gone broke.
No, that would be the current colloquialism, but I believe the original would have been Hassenfeld Brothers. Because it was Henry, Halil, and Herman. Oh God. The founders were alliterations. They were all Mr. H. Hassenfeld.
So nobody would know, yes.
No one would know who was the jerk. Just that it
was. And so
they
all died extremely wealthy, right? So they're not watching all of this, implode and burn and rot right in front of them.
Yeah, but one of their grand or great grandchildren, Mr. A. Hassenfeld, certainly is. And he only owns 6% of the company's stock.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even a major stockholder. Oh,
Well, no.
that's sad.
Well, he still owns more than Altafox. They only own about 2%, from what I gathered.
Well, all I can say is this: get woke, go broke. I mean, that's just the way it is.
It seems to. Well, I wouldn't say so much it's get woke, go broke as you got a board of directors who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've been making a lot of risky ventures in the last 5 years. And I mean, the current stock price is up a couple dollars from where it was last week. It's currently at $58.
Yeah, which is down by a bunch since it was last year. So,
Well, no, it's a. Oh no, it has gone down since last week. But I'm looking at the 5-year overview, and since it peaked around let's see, July of 2019 at $123 a share, it's gone down 40%, and Bank of America is predicting it to fully stabilize at around $40 a share.
sounds about right.
I mean, from this time last year, they're down 35%,
Goodness.
and they were trading at still almost $100 a share.
But yeah, you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, they tried to fix it and made it worse.
Yeah, it wasn't broke, and they tried to fix it.
Yeah. So, um, hard segue. How about Japan and their love for things with tentacles?
That was horrible. But yes, Call of Cthulhu is the most popular board game currently in Japan, thanks to Real Play, according to Screen Rant. Thanks to ad blocker, I don't have to deal with those annoying pop-ups on the sides. And neither does anyone else currently watching. But yeah, it says, well, Dungeons and Dragons dominates the RPG market around most of the world. Call of Cthulhu is the big thing in Japan
Yeah.
because it appeals to their horror game aesthetics.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a escape room
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
version.
every time that I've played Call of Cthulhu, I've only played it about 3 or 4 times, but every time the one thing that draws me in personally is in Dungeons and Dragons, and
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
other different types of role playing systems. You build a character that just gets more and more powerful and more godlike, and you handle larger, more dangerous things with relative ease, as you get closer and closer to max level. And Call of Cthulhu, that is not the case. Your character's made out of paper. If you get injured, it takes anywhere from days to months to years to heal. Your
Oh,
character gets psychological trauma and PTSD. You know, by
Uh,
the end of a good Call of Cthulhu game, you've either got one of two problems. Either your character can no longer function, or like function in society, or your character has caused the cataclysm that brings forth the elder gods and destroys the world.
Oh no.
You know, that's good stuff in Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu is basically like an all hopes lost type game, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and another fun little side note. Um, while D D&D and a majority of other tabletop games are maybe a little skewed towards men being the majority player base, Call of Cthulhu in Japan.
Yeah, it says it's mostly women.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I didn't pre-read this before,
No,
so I'm reading it
that's
now.
fine.
Wow.
Yeah, which is I I skimmed over it and apparently I was not paying attention to that paragraph.
Roughly 2/3 of COC players based in Japan are women between the ages of 17 and 35.
Mhm.
What is going on in their daily lives that they want to do that much destruction and horror and terror in their downtime? Oh my.
Mm,
I it's completely up to what their preferences are and what kind of game. I mean,
Wow.
it could also be a thing if they don't want to play as the big hulking muscle bound savior of the world. They just want to play as a slightly more interesting version of themselves that has to go through a whole bunch of weird crazy crap. I mean, that's what Call of Cthulhu is.
Okay.
yeah, and Chaosium owns has most of the licensing rights for the members of the Cthulhu mythos that is not public domain. And
Okay.
Wizards of the Coast got in trouble back when they tried to publish Spelljammer the first time. Almost got a lawsuit from Chaosium.
Yep. I
It's
mean,
also saying that a lot of it, the physical books, are the dominant
Yeah, in
way
Japan,
to play. So
yeah,
your digital platforms like we have, well, like with our game, um, half of our players are in different states across the United States. So to get on over the internet is our best way to get everybody together in one spot to play.
yeah,
And so that's making it sound like this is in home.
or
And then they were
internet
saying that even,
cafes or gaming
you
cafes
know,
and stuff. Yeah,
during the pandemic when everybody was, isolated at home, they could do more with it
yeah,
because it was so physically accessible. So that's neat.
yeah. And
not
rather
just that,
than
but you can also use Roll20 because I've known
yeah,
there's actually a
roll 20 Call of Cthulhu is the second most popular
yeah, and
TTRPG.
and shout out to the Odd Troop. Absolutely love their podcasts. They do Mage the Awakening,
Mm,
which is World of Darkness. And they have two series that are currently out. One that is still ongoing that's called Ombligo del Diablo. Yes, the devil's belly button. And the other one is called Section 6, where you have technocratic mages, going around and causing mayhem. They're both fantastic real play podcasts. Suggest listening to them, but they're playing World of Darkness, and Call of Cthulhu is kind of on the fringe of the same style of play, and they use Roll20.
Okay.
So
yeah, roll 20 is a little more system agnostic than most other virtual tabletops.
Oh yeah, and if they don't already have that built in, you can add to Roll20. Making your own plugin for your own thing. So yeah, even in physical, Call of Cthulhu is fantastic, but you can still play Call of Cthulhu online. You just got to know where to look.
Okay, it was the Deities and Demigods supplement that D&D got in trouble with for using copyrighted material, and was apparently settled out of court, or just a very strongly worded C&D. So there might be some copies of that in secondhand bookshops.
Might be.
That has the illegal content.
Ooh, we all like illegal content.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. And the other interesting thing is they've got localization not just for English and Japanese, but they also have German, Italian, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, Swedish, and they're looking for localizers in other countries too.
Cool.
Well, looking for and have localizers that speak other languages.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the one time that I get to play a campaign where the people are trying, where the characters are trying to summon Cthulhu, because screw it, we need a leader that doesn't care about anybody anymore. So Cthulhu 2024, no lives matter.
That's terrible. I mean, I think Cthulhu itself is in the public domain, but there were other bits. Yeah, there were other bits that weren't.
Yeah,
I also started reading this other article that's down below it. Spelljammer bringing Cthulhu into 5e.
Yep.
That's my. I mean, even with the what was it, that particular questionable race added to Spelljammer, might be worth taking a look for in secondhand bookstores.
Yeah.
Just as
Unless they've been snapped up by collectors.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Or some secondhand bookstores will price things ridiculously beyond what they should be.
As per usual.
But yeah, I'll be putting the link to this article down in the description. And it's basically you just scroll down to
Interesting.
get to the parts you want to look at. That picture looks great.
It does.
All right.
So, what's next?
Did you find any other interesting articles or other tabletop news?
Nope.
Trolling the interwebs?
I tried.
That's okay.
I tried so hard.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because we don't need that element. I'm gonna close that.
Okay.
In the meantime, while she's getting everything set up, go over to arcasaurtt.com and follow our stuff. That would be super awesome. We also do take donations, so we can keep our servers up and running. And we are releasing board and card and dice games as well. You can check that out. It's all on our website. And don't forget, AORPS is available right now. You can get your hands on it and build your own role playing system. Let's see if we can flood the market so much that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro basically have to step up their game to make better content, greater content, and make it more uh creator friendly.
Yeah.
Or let them sink into the depths of oblivion, which is what I hope they do.
And that's a
my
little
my major
mean.
frustration is that Hasbro has so much else going on too. You know, with all the moving pieces, all the moving parts. And this is what's damaging them the most is D&D related.
Yep.
Cuz it's like you mess up enough on the aesthetic paint for a certain figure, there's going to be lots of little boys and girls that are upset with their character. It's not as cool as I thought he was going to be, but it's okay. But you mess with the parents characters, oh, it's on. It is full on war.
Yep.
It's just they've got so much else going on other than just D&D.
Speaking about other stuff that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
what do you got?
It not a super lot. I mean, there have been a few interviews with executive excuse me, with executive producer Kyle Brink.
Yeah, I only saw one of those interviews, and it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What was it called? Like Halfling Squad or something like that?
No, the name of their channel is Three Black Halflings.
Yeah. That one, especially with the statement of, more of guys like me, and he's basically saying more, white guys, more guys like me need to step aside so we can go on ahead and have more people of different persuasions step in and add to the creative community. And it's like, but that sounds racist. saying saying it's full of guys like me. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like he never read any of the player's handbook from second edition AD&D, because even in 1978 they knew that more than just white guys in basements were playing the game.
I mean, if you really want to go in depth, like you want to support, like a lot of people support your black creators. If you want to support an African American creator, you want to really like get into something that was made by some a person of color. Go look at Mike Pondsmith's stuff. He's the creator of Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk 2022. He is just the
Yeah,
most awesome laid back
the
dude.
tabletop RPGs. He's not talking about Cyberpunk 2077, the
Oh no,
video game.
he also
He
designed
was
he designed the
the
story for 2077.
he was the creative consultant
Yeah.
in charge
So,
of that.
look up Mike Pondsmith. Definitely. That man's a freaking legend.
Well, there are a lot of those in the tabletop community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So saying it's just
somebody.
a whole bunch of pasty white boys. No. Everybody's making stuff. It's
Yeah,
not about your gender, your creed, your race. It's about your mind, how creative you are, what kind of worlds can you build. It has nothing to do with the shell that you live in while in this mortal plane.
yeah. I mean, one of the creators for some of the monsters in the original Spelljammer books, he was a person. He's a person of color. He
Mm-hmm.
created the Zarth and the Spirit Warriors because he was also a big weeb.
Yeah.
He figured, well, I can go nuts. All right, I have full creative control over designing this thing. I'm going to pick this obscure Japanese anime that I'm watching on VHS share tapes that don't have translated subtitles. So he watched it in the original Japanese. I watched a creator who decided to go down the rabbit hole of what the Spirit Warrior is, figured out that, oh, hey, it must come from this particular obscure anime, and then he managed to get in contact with the guy who designed that monster.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mostly because of the Zarth. And I don't know if Wizards even updated the rules for the Spirit Warrior into 5e. I think from the way he was, the creator was talking, the YouTube creator was talking, who I'm very sorry, but I cannot recall his channel. I'd have to look through my watch history. I might have a link to his channel in the description, or after this is uploaded. But I can't remember off the top of my head. But he managed to get in contact with the original creator, and he's like, this is such a cool creature because it's an undead insect that requires that's effectively like a mech, and the Zarth is like a Voltron was the other inspiration that the creator was drawing on.
Real quick, how do you spell Zarth?
Zarth, I think.
Okay. I'm trying to look it up while you're talking. Continue. Or just have silence. That's fine too.
I'm looking up something. I was gonna look.
Yeah, because I'm not finding it, but you can post it later. Because all I'm finding is D&D live play of Goblins of Zarth. So yeah,
Yeah, like I said, I think it was Zarth, but might have more luck looking up Spirit Warrior.
okay. Yeah, we can't have this much dead air in the
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, there it is. Oh, the channel creator's name is it's Dungeon Dad.
Yeah, I literally just pulled it up. Spirit Warrior, the weird story behind D&D's
Wild.
strangest monster.
Yeah, because they were created by elves. They started out as insects who undergo what is, I would say it's effectively a path to lichdom and like super mutation.
Okay.
It's forced on them by their pilot. The bug becomes a lich, effectively.
Oh.
Oh. Anywho.
Yeah, I found that one kind of fascinating, and from what I could tell during the interview, the the Spirit Warriors creator did look to be a person of color. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they hired people based on merit, not the color of their skin.
Which is basically what our company is going to do once it becomes big enough.
Yeah, if it becomes big enough. But we're okay just being tiny for now.
Yeah.
All right, so
So is this says Peku?
okay.
Your creator highlight for the day.
Ah, yeah. Um, did have one other
It
thing to
is
say.
now.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say one other thing before we got to the creator highlight, and that was
Okay.
Kobold Press's project Black Flag.
Yeah.
Playtest packet number 1 is now live. I did put a
Ooh.
yeah. So if you haven't signed up for it already, I would say go ahead. Maybe next week we can do a full read through of the playtest packet.
Oh, possibly. Dead air.
And then we can all go fill out their playtest survey so that they get the best version of this set of rules as they can.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can go ahead and move on to our highlighting other creators in tabletop gaming beyond Cobalt Press and what they're doing now with Project Black Flag. Let's see. You had one you wanted to highlight, Scott.
Okay. Oh, we'll start over with that. They are Sammy Joko Publishing. I kind of was surfing around the internet,
Okay,
found
the link just says Sam Joko.
oh yeah, Sam Joko, sorry. Sam Joko Publishing. My dyslexia kind of adds letters sometimes. But
Yeah,
this set of individuals that work under this little tiny publishing company, they had at one point in time a Kickstarter for what is called retropunk. uh Looked really interesting, so I thought, hey, maybe we can highlight these guys because it looks neat. And it turns out they have a bunch of stuff. They actually have a minimalist version of kind of a minimalist version of Cyberpunk called Veil 2020. Right now, you can get it for $5 as a digital PDF,
Cool.
and on top of that, under their free section, they have 2 modules for the Veil 2020 for free. And so I'm
Oh,
like, dude, like I'm totally down for that. They also have Galaxies in Peril, which is basically like um uh Marvel's Infinity War. Like you basically build
cool.
your own superhero and
Right.
fighting like huge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hack the Planet is basically if you play only the hacker side of Cyberpunk 2020 or Cyberpunk 2020. They also have a role playing game called Never Knows Best. If you've ever
Okay.
watched Fully Coolie, FLCL, if you ever watched any of that anime, this entire role playing system is like an episode of the anime.
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's freaking nuts. The description on it is Never Know Best is inspired by FLCL, and my own interpretation of the source material rather than attempting to emulate the anime as closely as possible. Never Knows Best NKB is a role playing game about middle school kids facing impending adulthood, growing up, and society's sometimes nonsensical expectations and obligations. It is designed for 3 to 5 players plus a game master who facilitates the game. The game uses absurdism, metaphors, motifs, and literalizations to represent the struggles of growth of these kids go through. Society's obligations and expectations manifest not as outrageous forms, creatures and monsters not of this world. The kids combat these creatures by transforming into robots. Whenever these kids transform, their robots take on their unique strengths and traits, representing how they reject society's attempts to make them conform and obey.
Of course.
So it seems fantastic. They've also got
Yeah.
Operators RPG, which is basically if you ever like any of the Tom Clancy stuff, it's like Tom Clancy, the tabletop role playing game.
Okay.
Basically, that's exactly what their description says. But the one that caught my eye initially is Retropunk.
Mm-hmm.
Retropunk is available physical through on demand, blah blah. Retropunk is a cyberpunk tabletop role-playing game in which the players embody characters in a futuristic hybrid reality where the digital and physical have merged. Everyone experiences the world beyond augmented reality through their neurochip, tech implanted at birth. But by hacking these chips, they traverse this new reality free from monitoring. Using this cloak of anonymity, they combat the corporatocracy that controls urban sprawls across countries and continents. They snatch resources away from those in power and use those to get as fuel for their resistance. As the rebellion grows, they take more and more powerful factions. Rules inspired by such games as White Hack, World of Dungeons, Blades in the Dark, and The Veil, which is one of their own works.
Okay.
So it looks fantastic. And even at that, the Veil, like real quick, let me just and this one, $5. I went on ahead and bought it. The Veil exists because of questions as World of Dungeons is to the dungeoning world. What would the World of Dungeons equivalent to Cyberpunk be? Rather than playing an older school rules light versions of D&D, the retro version of Cyberpunk in the role playing game space line, Cyberpunk chiefly Cyberpunk 2020, punks who rebel against mega corporations rather than delve into dungeons to find treasure. So in the Veil, you basically pick a class, um, build a really quick character, and then go through almost like a theater of the mind dungeon crawl, and
Okay.
it looks fantastic. I even watched a real play, just a little bit of how it works and what it does, and it's by Fraser Simmons. So, if you want to give this game a look, and on top of that, it's $5, $5, and you can start playing with your friends like within minutes.
Awesome.
So, give them a look. Samjoko Publishing, or not production, samjokopublishing.com. They've also got a fantasy role playing system that they're about to launch and they're taking pre-orders on. That is called Yonder. So give them a look. Their entire catalog looks fantastic. So what's next?
I
Hello?
don't know.
I'm gonna show you. Just a second.
Oh, okay. It's just like it just goes to silence, and I'm like, oh no, was I talking and I got disconnected? What happened?
No, you were still connected. No, I was pulling it up onto OBS. What I was doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is it. It's a really
Yeah,
I'm
I
I
just
think
wanted
they'd be great.
this
So
particular creator. I wanted to give people a preview of what they're doing because it's map art. Not everybody's great at doing map art. Not everybody wants to use computer pre-gen art for their maps. And these guys make maps that are entirely system agnostic, and honestly would some some of the way some of these look like they would be really awesome as just a wallpaper art for your computer.
in all honesty, yeah.
Uh, this map creator group's called Zepeku Maps. It's CZEPEKU. At least I think Zepeku would be a sort of accurate-ish pronunciation.
Unless it's
Okay.
spelled like the Czech Republic.
It's CZ. So, but for those who are watching this, you can see what some of these maps look like. I'm just sort of scrolling down. They're honestly really beautiful. I mean, like this one here would be the Crystalville. That'd be great for an Astral Sea type campaign. And they've got
Yeah.
stuff that would work good for the Underdark. And holy cow, this mushroom infested mines is so huge that the preview's scrolling. And then there's this Dwarven one that is vertical scrolling. And then a hag layer. We got one that's like a giant courtroom, super fancy. Could also be used for, I mean, it says Court of Justice, but it could also be used for a throne room. But yeah, all
Yeah.
of these maps are super fancy. And I only happened to spot this creator stuff because they said they were doing, I think it was a giveaway over on Twitter. I didn't enter, but I took a look at their maps and I was like, okay, these are people that need to be spotlighted because anyone who does any kind of miniatures gaming, these maps would be honestly excellent for. And why not give a shout out to great map creators, not just game creators, but the people that make the maps that you use.
Yep.
So, I mean, the most boring one they've got is open ocean, which is really just some gradient shading with a circle.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need boring ones too.
Yeah, it's when you add other things to it and and make the magic yourself as the dungeon master.
Yeah.
If you want a really big one, Beach Kraken. That map's huge.
And then you have a giant's footprint. But yeah, they have a Patreon page that you can join up, and I didn't do a whole lot of looking through their page besides, looking at the pics, the picture previews. Oh, they also have variants. Let's see. As you can see, they did different color gradients on like this one, the Spider Queen's lair or throne room.
Oh, not just color variants. It also has different aesthetics, like the Spider Queen being up on the top.
Yeah, and you can toggle the grid on and off. Oh. Well, apparently clicking that is searching by tag. Not what I was planning to do. Okay, those are tags down there. Yeah, different image gradients. But yeah, these maps look honestly really good.
Yep.
And I thought they completely deserved a shout out. So
Yeah.
and I believe you access their maps. It says the easiest way to access their maps is becoming a Patreon. They also have animated maps. Which I'm guessing is a download of these a download of the video for the.
It's for if you play in person, but you have a one of those really fancy tabletop setups that is a screen inlaid in a table.
Oh no, it says they work with Foundry and Encounter Plus.
Well, yeah, those two.
All right. And let's see. Renee Pierre has made a few updates to the Firelights solo tabletop game. It's already up
Yeah.
to version 1.2. It is fully out now, so and just $6.
I would definitely highly suggest playing that one. This is just it as you said, it's almost like Journey, and I absolutely love Journey. So
Yeah, he also describes it as being somewhat similar to Ori in the Blind Forest and what else was it? What was the other one that he was saying?
have to find where I
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah, he said that some of his other inspirations were Spiritfarer, Hollow Knight, Princess Mononoke, and Breath of the Wild because, the Sheikah Towers.
Yep.
And another inspiration for him was Ironsworn by Sean Tompkin and Apocalypse World by D. Vincent and M. Baker. But yeah, the links for all of these will be down in the description. And as Scott pointed out last week, Stoneburner will be going live on Kickstarter in March.
Okay.
Oh no, it's gonna. He pushed it back to April 11th.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking it's because he's got other stuff he's working on right now, so it's pushed his launch date back a little.
So
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us for tonight's episode.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Do all the algorithm things like maybe subscribing, liking, sharing, putting some comments down below. Feel free to roast us. The comments will provide us with amusement. And keep on adventuring, guys. Thanks.
bye.
Bye.